Hi guys, Blake here with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful Upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Thursday, September the 24th of 2020, and this is the one cast. Today I am going to start, I'm just right above the Narrows right now. I'm going to do something that I have never done before. So I've rigged up a few different rods here today. I got a report the other day that someone was, with the water off, trolling flicker shad. Just using their troll motor to keep the boat steady going, and they were trolling a flicker shad and said that they were catching quite a few trout. So I'm going to attempt to do the same thing, except I'm going to use the Signature Series 639. This is the ghost shad pattern. We have a bunch of 639s up in the shop, so if you don't have the extra money for that, then you can get the other 639s, and they all have the same action. This ghost shad pattern is a pretty good pattern whenever you got bright sun like it is now. It's about 12:30 in the afternoon, and so I'm gonna get the boat rolling here, and we're gonna give it a try. This may not be very effective. I may just pull moss the whole time, or we may catch fish. That is what we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna kind of just feel out the speed here for a second. I just want a nice little wiggle, nice constant wiggle. So I don't want it to be going too fast, but I don't want to be going too slow either. I've got the trolling motor set on about speed 70 right now, and I think this will be a good speed. I might even turn it down just a touch. Maybe just a little more. All right. So, let's see. Fishing reports for today. Captain Steve Dickey came back a little bit ago and reported lots and lots of fish on the pink power worm. Said he had a hard time getting to the big fish because there were so many little fish biting. I think Captain Steve was the only captain I talked to this morning. We had lots of people sitting on the dock today, and everybody was catching fish. It didn't really seem to matter what color power bait they were using, garlic or not. Everybody was catching fish, and there was night crawlers too, and lots of fish being caught off the dock this morning. I saw lots of boats out in front of the dock this morning that were also catching fish. Last night I got invited to go on one of Dwayne's guided fishing trips, and the fish were biting really good. I think that there's a possibility that there was a little higher oxygen levels in the water last night. The fish were fighting excellent, and we weren't having to revive any. They were swimming right off. Dwayne boated a 24-inch brown last night on the Signature Series 762 lure. And the night before that, I took a couple buddies out, and they boated a 21-inch brown up in a little higher up in the trophy area. So the browns are definitely stacking up, moving up. My lure doesn't seem to be picking up any moss. I've got a pretty good little drag going here. I actually passed another boat on my way up. He had the big built-in rods on the back of his boat, and he was dragging something through down by Short Creek. But it seems like the fishing reports have been pretty good today. Everybody's catching lots of fish. I talked to some people that fished yesterday off the dock all day, and they said everybody in their group caught their limits. And I believe I hear the sirens going off up at the dam. Looks like they might be releasing the water a little early today. They had it on the schedule to release water starting at 2 o'clock. And they were going to run water until 7 and turn it off again. I don't know a whole lot about trolling stuff out here. I've always wanted to try trolling a few different things, and so I can't say I have any good rules of thumb for this, but I would imagine that if you're not getting bites at a certain speed, probably either slow it down or speed it up and just try different approaches that way. Or I thought about rigging up a flicker shad and a flatfish and some other stuff, but I figured I'd just stick with one jerk bait and try not to overload myself here. Good, how are you guys doing? Finding any fish out here? Gotcha. Good luck to you. I imagine that if I had chosen a different time of the day, that this also might be more effective. I imagine if you got out here early in the morning and did this, you'd probably have a little more success just based on how much better the bite is in the morning. We got bluebird skies and high sun today. I'm gonna go ahead and just reel in and make sure I don't have a ton of moss on the end of this thing. And really surprisingly, I don't have any moss at all. I'm gonna turn the trolling motor down a little bit and try again. No fish on the one cast today. I don't know if you could do the same thing with flies. I imagine the flies would probably drag the bottom a little too much doing this, but maybe not. That's something else I'll have to try. This method that I'm doing right now, whenever there's water flowing, is something I do pretty often. Just let the water pull you in, drift it behind the boat, and I know that it works fairly well a lot of the time when that's happening, but I imagine that the running water kind of blurs the vision of the fish and probably helps out with the bite a little bit versus trolling it in still water. We got some warmer weather coming here, getting back into the mid to high 80s over the next couple of days, and then I think it's supposed to rain and cool off quite a bit. Start being in the high 60s. Finally reached some decently deep water here. Not exactly sure what type of tool they're using over there, but it's making a pretty crazy noise. So those flicker shad, if you were going to come out here and drag one of those, you actually don't, assuming it's the right depth diver, you actually don't need the weight setup like I have here. It actually has enough build to, ooh, that felt kind of like a bite. It actually has enough build to pull itself to the bottom, so you would just tie that straight onto your line and throw it out. I think maybe it wasn't a bite and I just had some moss get picked up. Oh, no moss again. That might have been a fish. So on this rig I'm using 6-pound on my spool here, and I've got that going to the Carolina rig that we use. And on the other side of that, I have 4-pound tests to drag the lure. Dragging something this speed, they should, if they do hit it, they should chase it from behind, so the 4-pound line won't necessarily affect the bite. But I guess if they see it from the opposite direction, it could. I thought about trying to find something to hold rods and throw like 3 of them out at once, but I decided that'd probably be a disaster. I think 3 is the maximum number of rods that you can have for one person in the water at one time. That goes the same for number of hooks you have on the end of one line as well. You can only have 3. So like if you're trying to throw a smorgasbord of flies on the end of your fly rod, you can only have 3 flies on the end of that. Well, so far my method's seeming slightly unproductive here. I'm thinking maybe timing would be something to change. Get out here and do this first thing in the morning, maybe even before the sun's all the way up. Might change the bite. The rod I'm using is the Lilley's Landing rod. It's a 6'6" medium light action with a fast action tip. It works great for the jerkbaits that we swing at night. It's a great jigging rod, and it's also good for dragging. It's got enough sensitivity you can really feel what's going on down there, and it's got enough backbone to land a pretty nice fish if you get one on. Thinking maybe I should have stuck below below the trophy area where that water on that bluff stays more like 10 foot or 12 foot or somewhere in there, and maybe I should have drug it through that deeper water. I don't feel it dragging. I might have moss, but each time I've tried this, it didn't have any moss, so we'll see. Got just a little bit around the bill of the bait there. And so another thing is, on this bait, I have the belly hook taken off. I don't know if you can see that from here. Taking that belly hook off keeps the bait from catching the bottom as much. And like I was saying before about the line, same thing with the number of hooks. They're chasing it from behind generally when they hit it, so they usually don't ever put it in their mouth far enough to get that belly hook anyway. So just the tail hook is really all you need. There's a now, I traditionally wouldn't try this, but there is about a 23 or 24 inch rainbow actually just sitting on top of the water over there. I'm gonna throw this bait out in front of him. Oh, nope, he turned right away from it. Dang it. He was just cruising the very surface of the water there. I was gonna see if I could get that lure out in front of him and entice him. He didn't want anything to do with my trickery. Well, I reckon I go for 3 or 5 more minutes. I'll have to come out here and try this again, except come out here early in the morning or late in the evening. I already know it works with the water running. I just wanted to see if it was another option of something we could do with the water turned off. I'm gonna try slowing it down even just a little bit more here. You know, a lot of these fish I'm seeing are not holding against the bottom. They are actually suspended just a couple feet underneath the surface. It's kind of strange for this time of the day. Right through here, right before you get to the lookout, it's probably one of the deepest spots between here and the Narrows. Not another boat up here. Looks like I'm the only one fishing. I don't even see people standing out in front of Point Royale. Well, I've tried slowing it down quite a bit here. Maybe speeding it up's the trick. Still seeing quite a bit of surfacing going on here. I saw a couple people down there closer to the Narrows, and they were only fishing about 1.5 feet underneath the indicator. So might be a midge type of day. Well, I made it all the way up to, just about all the way up to Lookout here. So I think this is where I'm gonna retire this this attempt for the day. You know, just a touch farther here. Nope, I take it back. I'm not the only boat anymore. Some pretty nice sized trout floating around up here. I give up. Well, I gave it the old college try today, guys. It did not pan out for me. That's something I'm gonna have to play around with a little more. But we thank you guys for watching. Like and share us on Facebook, and we'll do it again tomorrow.